Hey everybody, it's Kelly Brown, your health and fitness specialist, coming to you again with another video about the top 10 things you should avoid eating for better health. Alright, now sometimes you can have them, but you want to keep them in moderation. You don't want to have too much of them because of the effects they can have to your body. Number one, wheat. Wheat is an inflammatory, it can bloat you, it has negative effects on it because of the way it's processed. It's not the same way it used to be, so you definitely want to stay away from wheat. Number two, dairy. Dairy, I don't think was really meant for the consumption of humans. It's a cow. Cow babies should drink that. Humans don't need to be drinking off of another animal, okay? And also dairy has negative effects as well. A lot of people are allergic to it, lactose intolerant, and sometimes even though you don't see that you're lactose intolerant, you still have the effects of someone who would be lactose intolerant. Okay, so stay away from dairy if you can. Number three, soy. Soy is something that is kind of touchy because it is a vegetable, but at the same time, soy has negative effects. Number one, if you eat a lot of it, it can increase your estrogen levels in men and women. And then number two, soy is known to be linked to being cancerous. So you don't want to have anything that you don't have to have help assist you in getting cancer. So you can kind of stay away from soy to the most part, tofu, stuff like that. If you want to have in moderation here and there, but not consistently, okay? Number three, high fructose corn syrup. Corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, all of that stuff is man-made, processed, derived from corn, and it's not meant to be eaten in an abundance. So you definitely want to stay away from that stuff because it's sugars and your body can't really digest it as well as it can with regular sugars. Number five, pardon me, refined sugars. Refined sugars are sugars that are made inside of a warehouse. I don't know how they really extract sugars from whatever sugar cane that they have and then process them through a machine. All I know is that refined sugars are the devil. So you definitely want to stay away from refined sugars if you want to keep your blood sugars low, if you want to stay away from diabetes, any other of these things where, you know, sugars turn to fats. So you're helping yourself, you're assisting yourself in gaining fat. So you definitely want to stay away from sugars if you can help it. No, but sometimes you can't really avoid it, but you just want to keep it to a minimum. Number six, red meat. Okay, so some people's bodies require or desire red meats, but red meats are very dense. Okay, so you have a stomach wall, and your stomach wall is dense enough to where it shouldn't be able to break down. So what happens is red meat is also just as dense as your stomach wall. So when you eat this red meat, it goes into your stomach, and when the acids come into your stomach getting ready to figure out if they need to really digest, it doesn't know the difference between the red meat and your stomach wall. So that red meat can stay in your intestines for up to 30 days. So if you want to keep yourself clean and flowing, you don't want to have red meats in your system. Number seven, fried foods. Fried foods are foods that could have been good, but were dipped in oil and then and battered with wheat. So we got two things that we don't want to have: oil and wheat. So let's kind of stay away from those things. Fried foods, you know, just high in fats, and we can kind of get away from the fats. Try just to grill or saute your meats and something like that. The next thing, corn. Corn isn't a great product to have anymore. It doesn't have much nutritional value to it. So if you can stay away from it to the maximum capacity, you probably should. It just doesn't digest properly, and there's no real quality from having corn. Number nine, processed or fast food. So of course these foods have been coming from somewhere. They're sent to you from a warehouse, and then whatever place is making it for you has to prepare it, and all this other stuff is boxed up. You don't want to have foods that are like that. If they're processed, if they're, you know, fast, ready to go, ready to eat, they have probably too much sodium in them to keep them from spoiling too fast and stuff. So if you can, stay away from processed foods and fast foods. Just cook your own meals and save yourself the headache of looking terrible the next day. And the last thing, and this is going to touch home for me, is liquor. Okay, so check this out. Hard liquor is probably the best version of liquor for someone to have because hard liquor doesn't contain sugars. The problem is when people drink a lot, they end up drinking drinks that have a lot of sugars in them because they're mixed drinks. So if you are going to drink, try and drink something that's straight rather than drinking something that's mixed. Okay everybody, that was the top 10 things you should avoid eating for better health. If you have any more questions, please feel free to email me or inbox me at teamcomegetfit.com.